Basically, what I was saying was I feel like the real gem of the podcast, because I've been watching them since they first began, and I'm a 22-year-old business major in college, so I try to take things from a logical approach, and I try to look at, I feel like the real gem of the podcast is Myron, because the way he delivers his approach is like fact-based. And I was watching, I don't know if you've seen, but Academics had a stream earlier, and he basically pointed out that like Myron could be like the anti-Kevin Samuels. He could have his own fucking thing. He could be like Kevin Samuels, but bigger and more dominant. You know what I'm saying? Like, Myron gives off this like crazy, just like weird, almost like, I don't know if y'all feel it, but everyone makes fun of Fresh because he's like really not that guy. But Myron's like, there's something up with that dude, bro. Like, he's the one that really needs to like really watch it. You know what I'm saying? Because he could just, if he figures something out, figures his own lane out, like he could take this shit somewhere.
No,
Well,
they're not gonna go too far, bro. Because
I don't. Go ahead, Poppy.
But I mean, I'm sorry. Like they just ain't gonna go too far, bro. Because first they cannot change the content.
They're gaining 1,000 subscribers a day, bro. Next year, this time,
okay, it's because if you do,
bro.
If you look at his subscribers, I can promise you it's like 500,000 virgin guys that cannot get close to a goddamn female. So they look at Fresh and Fit as their savior. That's all it is. A real man look at Fresh and Fit and yes, like look, this is what I wanted to say earlier. Smart people, real men look at them and be like, it's insane. But nerdy guys that don't know no better, they start believing that shit that they saying, bro. And that's the problem.
Yeah, you have an 18-year-old right here. You have an 18-year-old right here just said he has some sense.
What is it that they say is corny to you, bro? Like, say a specific example and we can talk about it.
They say what Miami really is.
Oh, bro, you don't know what they're saying is corny.
Hold on. Let's do this.
Say a specific example. Don't say a generalization.
Fresh and Fit's number one stand. Let's ask Rex, because he's the youngest guy who follows him, right? I think that question would be more appropriate for him. Let's ask him that. So go ahead and ask him, Fresh and Fit number one stand. What are I'm asking.
What is like a specific like ideology or point that they try to prove that you're in contention with?
When they say, oh yeah, well, it only works here in Miami. They use that line multiple times when people go up there. Like when Academics went up there and said, hey bro, when you do the whole thing with the females and all that, and when the whole Miranda case, the whole sorry if I said her name wrong, I don't know her name. He said all that.
It is Miranda.
Hollywood, Florida. That's not far from Miami. I'm from the general area, and I can tell you how Miami works and inside and out. But it's not like that. Like it's certain parts are like that, but what they say they bring Miami like it's a Las Vegas. They say, it's not like that.
So you're basically saying that like all the crazy shit that we see on there is not really representative of like half or more than 90% of the country? Because I would kind of disagree with you there.
Whoa! You disagree?
Now you really is kind of like the number one fan.
Whoa! Wait, time out. How can you say 90%? Wait, time out. You just broke my brain, Fresh.
No. So I might have misheard him, but basically Rex's point was that everything that they talk about.
It wasn't a point, sir. He was answering your question.
He was?
Yeah.
Yes. He asked the question. He was answering it.
Say it again. My fault.
Your question. I told you the reason why.
Say it again. I didn't hear you.
No, so basically, just to summarize, what Fresh and Fit was, what they try to do is they summarize the Miami lifestyle to make it look like that's everywhere else, and it's not. And DJ Academics called them out on that. They're saying, hey, listen, the advice that you're giving for some of these girls or for some of these guys out there, you have to make sure that you're letting it make the distinction that it's Miami lifestyle. It's not the rest of the world, because from when we're sitting, if I'm sitting from the point of an audience member, you're making it seem like it's the rest of the world, that rest of the world, the women behave this way, and it's not. And Fresh went on that podcast. Here's the thing. Let me finish because I actually know what he's talking about. He goes in and he's actually defending the fact that he wasn't capping, that he like the advice he gives is supposed to be general, and the DJ Academics then pigeonholes him and basically says, hey, listen, now let's look at this girl Miranda, right? She's from wherever the fuck Philly, right? Now she flew down here. Now you're saying before you because you know her and you're dating her and whatnot, she's not that type of girl. Okay, how you know she's not that type of girl? Well, because she came in from out this place and she didn't have a chance to be turned out yet like these other Miami girls. Okay, fine. And this is DJ Academics. He's now saying, well, okay, now you're saying that she didn't have the time to come down here and be turned out like these other girls. All right, fine. But then can you now then say that girls don't behave this way unless they come to an environment that resembles this particular area right here, right? And he couldn't defend that. So that's a contradiction.
Yeah. So my take on that is I go out to like nightclubs and shit. I live in Phoenix, Arizona, and the way they dress, the way they act on the show, it sounds crazy, but like, bro, that's really how they be acting.
Is Phoenix? No, let me answer this question. Is Phoenix a major city in Arizona?
It's the biggest city. Yeah, it's like, bro.
Exactly my point.
My point is like every state has a city like Miami, and all the females they act like that. That's just a city. That's a city.
Right. No. He's actually. Here's the thing, Poppy. He's actually telling. There's a little bit of facts to that because city girls are different, right? But my point that I'm trying to make is, okay, there's also Jacksonville in Florida, right? There's also there are different states and different different cities and different townships in Florida.
But
and
not let's get more specific.
But not all of no, we are getting specific. That's what I'm trying to do. So because there are different states, and I keep saying states, different cities in Florida. I'm telling you, bro. But because there are different cities and townships in Florida, not each, and they're varying in different sizes. Not as big as Miami, but varying different sizes. Not the women that come from those cities and towns don't behave like those Miami city girls. Just like in Arizona, right? 100%, I mean, there's places like Flagstaff, for example, right? Girls from Flagstaffs are less likely to behave like girls from Phoenix. I do agree, because it's called the media markets, right? You have the big media markets, the big cities, and the girls that flock to these major cities, LA, Seattle, New York, all these big cities, Miami, right? They're going there, majority of them, to test their market value, right? They want newer, better opportunities, so they go there to test the market value. Those are the type of girls, okay, I agree with, right? So when DJ Academics was making a point that, hey, Fresh, Miranda, the chick that you got, she came from Phoenix all the way to Miami, and you talking about she's different from all these other girls. What makes her different?
Wait, that was proven to be false. I got really mad at him when he did that, because that was some weird ass shit, bro. Like, he got caught lying. I was like, bro,
you see what I'm saying? So that
was weird. I was like,
that's what we're just trying to say. You see how we break this shit down? We break this shit down.
Like, bro, why are you? Because I felt that's when I was like, wait,
why are you mad at this guy? You don't even know this guy. Like, I'm so confused, bro.
No, not mad, nigga. Come on, bro. You know what I mean? I was like, yo, this nigga's weird. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was strange to me.
Yeah, but can I ask a question?
Yeah,
did it to number one fan? So did it just hit home to you now, or did it ever hit home before then to say, hey, Fresh and Fit contradict themselves or lie every time they make a move or they do something?
So.
Or did it just now hit home to you? Like, oh man.
No, see, my thing is, I try to look at everything from like a point of view of like not being biased towards any position. So I've known for a while that they're kind of like, you know, it would be nice if they did live that life, but they don't. So I knew for a while that they weren't like that, but I still watched to hope that maybe they could improve.
It's amazing, yeah.
And one of the issues I had with everybody making videos about them was I didn't see one person make a video on how to help them, because they have a good idea.
Really?
They have $1 million idea.
Really? Have you watched Dukendon? No, I got you, Duke. Hold on. Have you ever watched Dukendon from the beginning or go back to the previous videos? Because I got it. Everybody got life, but you just said to yourself you watch Fresh and Felton in hope, so you pretty much put most of your life invested in that. So that's pretty much. All right, cool. I'm just going about your words, bro. You just said I invest most of my life in hopes on what Fresh and Fit. That's your words. But I'm just saying. Let me just say this real quick. If the comment you just made said, is nobody made videos to try to help them. Duke and Don has pretty much done videos to react and help them with other guests that actually know personally Fresh and Fit on a business standpoint that work with them closely. They have done that. So I'm just throwing that out there too.
If he like genuinely like picked apart I've never seen anyone actually say like what they do good. Duke and Don, say something that they do good right now.
They built.
Let me get this one, bro.
Hold on. He asked me a question. They built a podcast that really everyone else is because of a formula that everyone's emulating, right? And if you go back to all of my criticisms about Myron, I always talk about his work ethic. I always talk about his determination, his persistent, right? Because those are the makings of someone who can build something. The focus that this man has is just the bricks that he throws that I have an issue with. Because if you take someone like Myron, the kind of the energy and the focus and the mindset he has, you put him in any situation, well, guess what? He'll most likely be well. He'll be successful, right? That's just how it is. People with that kind of mentality, that's fine. Unfortunately, we're in a niche right now where we're dealing in the realm of relationships and emotions. And when we're dealing in this particular realm, now things start to get crazy because guys are coming to the space out of a space of frustration. So if you have guys who have the same kind of determination and whatnot to get there, but they don't really care so much about the audience, so much, but more about their personal goals, which is to make it, to make money, to bag all those different things, right? Then it stops becoming more about the message and it starts becoming more about their individual goals. But here's the problem that happens. The bigger you get, now you have all these different holes that leaves you exposed on all sides. And that's what's happening, because the issue with Fresh and Fit isn't the style in which they run their podcast. It isn't really even any of that. It's the rot they have internally that keeps leading them to controversies after controversies after controversies. They have to fix that internal rot, otherwise it isn't going to change. And that rot is they need a little bit more self-awareness on that platform. And they need to be able to figure out how to keep the same energy, but like kind of repackage your delivery. That's it. I've been saying the exact same thing. You see what I'm saying? So I like when people say it's hate, I laugh at them. I have to laugh. Like, you got to understand. Like, people say it's hate, I'm laughing because what it tells me is like I see ignorant comments, because it's like, how did you just miss what I just said? Like, dude, that means you're selectively here. I'm not saying you, Fresh and Fit #1 stand, but I'm just saying that like most Chris, people who come out, no, Chris. I'm sorry, I'm looking at the names. I got to look at this stuff. But like when people say that, it's not. I just got to point this stuff out, and you have to, because like if I was your best friend, right? And let's say you're walking around, your fly's down, right? And I met you and I saw it and I didn't say shit because I didn't want to hurt your feelings. But then you go out and some girl's like, "Ooh, you got your pants down. Oh, your fly's down." Like, "Oh, like you can zip it." And you know all the other girls are there and they're laughing. You feeling embarrassed, right? And you looking at me like, "Bro, I just like, like nigga, why didn't you say nothing, right?" Now you be looking at me a little sus. You would be, right? So that's the exact same thing. And that's why I call out all the other creators who try to subtly try to talk to them or don't really call them out in public like they need to, like giving them that verbal pee-pee slap. Because like you need to understand that, hey, if I wasn't here for you, I wouldn't say shit to correct your behavior, and I'll watch you march on that path to hell. And that's it. But any person, any rational, sensible person who cares about this space, who cares about I used to watch Fresh and Fit too. I used to. Like, don't get me wrong, I think they have a dope concept. It's just that when you see them walking off a cliff and the message stops being about that, then what are we doing here?
So I'm talking, they're in a space called the manosphere, obviously you know that. And the manosphere is like an ideology. Do you have anything specific that they preach? Like maybe like to not pedestalize women and to like take life by the reins and just do for self? Like, do you agree with any, like, do you think any of their ideology has any
the general red pill ideology, hypergamy, when it has to deal with women dating up, when it comes to the value exchange?
Yeah, so you can concede that point. That
I never disagree with that. I never disagree with that. It's the what I disagree with, if you look closely, it's the hypocrisy, right? When they say one thing and then they're actually doing another. I can't rock with that, because then I feel stupid, right? How are you gonna tell me something and I'm looking at your life and it's different? Donny boy, how you gonna tell me you've been banging all these supermodels and I'm looking at your girl and she's twice their age and she's doing all these other things, and yet you're telling other guys, you're making other guys feel inadequate for? Okay, here's the thing. There's no problem if he likes older women, that's fine. That's perfect. I don't got an issue with it. If you guys out there want to go date older women, matter of fact, in one of our oldest episodes when we were brand new, Don and I had an episode where we're like, yo, I think young men should date older women. At least the guys who can't get boxed anyways, because it'll work out for you better, right? Versus some of these young girls that you can't get. So I stress that. But someone like Donovan Sharp, if you're gonna date someone who's older than you, then you can't then go ahead and tell other young men and make them feel inadequate for not dating this young, hot, vibrant, tight chick that you guys all talk about. Because then guys who don't go around doing that or aren't doing that, they're gonna feel inadequate. And guess what? Because of that inadequacy, they're right in the open for whatever shit that you try to sell them, knowing fully well you never lived that life to begin with. So what? Like these guys are at a disadvantage, bro. So I have to say something.
Yeah,
that's like a trainer, bro. Like, would you take advice from a personal trainer that weighs more than you? Like, would you say that? And they're trying to give you workout advice. Would you believe him? Would you take advice from him? Nah, you can say, hey, bro, I'm looking at you right now, and you don't look like you can go through struggle like I would. Like, you don't look like it. Go ahead, Rest Kid.
Yo, I have two things to say, man. This is just mainly just two things. One thing that I eat Fresh and Fit number one stand, I'd like to ask you is that if you know the area down South Florida, I can take my uncle's Aston Martin and dress up in Gucci clothes and drive down Brickell Avenue, and I guarantee I'll get 5 phone numbers because it's the look. It has nothing to do. It's the look. It's the impression's the look. So what they say about we get girls, it's the look. Just look at if the main thing is look at Fresh. He dresses a certain way because he has no personality. He put his clothes or his personality. What he has around him is his personality. He has no talk. You just know that he has no talk. Zero talk. He can't stand up for himself. Anything. And then the second thing I want to add on to that is that, how can you sit down and say, I don't watch them and I don't really listen to them? But like, you watch them though, bro. Like, and my thing is, I have nothing wrong with you watching them, and that's cool. Like, I watch them. I only watch when Andrew Tate goes on, bro. Because Andrew Tate, when he goes on, he it's funny because Andrew Tate says something else, and as soon as Andrew Tate gets on, then they act like they were actually on that. Just pay attention and watch it. When Andrew Tate says, sometimes you gotta drop the female like a chess piece. And then he's like, oh yeah, but literally no fresh.
And by the way, just even touch up on that Andrew Tate thing. Like, I ain't got no problem with Andrew Tate. I legitimately just think he's crazy. Like, I legitimately think Andrew Tate, you are a psychopath. Okay, like I know if ands or buts about it. So like, I genuinely think he needs help. Like that's the only reason why I think someone like that should genuinely not be coaching dudes. Is because like even with that video that came out, there's a whole reason why I keep playing that video, because I want to make sure that who you are up here isn't who you are back there. Because if that's it, then we got a problem. We got a problem, bro.
Blonde hair girl, right? And he hit her or something like that.
Yeah, I'm smacking around and whatnot.
I was sitting there on your thing, and I was on my couch, and I was like, I didn't think it was him. I didn't think it was him.
Everybody had that same. I had that same reaction, right? So here's the thing. It's not that I like. Listen, I'm loyal to my subs, bro. All my subs, even more than that, I'm loyal to my day one subs. So if they send me a video saying, "Yo, check this shit out. What's happening here?" and I look at it and it genuinely shocks me, right? Seeing somebody, and I fucks with some of the shit that he says. I just think he's crazy. And I see that, and then I'm like I'm remembering some of his content, and I remember them eyes that he's looking at it, and I'm looking at him smack this broad, and I'm just like, oh shit. Like, what? Like, you see what I'm saying? So then my brain starts doing this, because I'm like, this seems, that slab looks a little too real. And I'm looking at how he's talking about these broads. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I think Fresh and Fit as a team, and was it you? Somebody said it would. Do you think Fit made the second channel just because Fresh and Fit wouldn't last?
Yeah.
I'm with you on that. I believe it. And I'm sitting there like, I think so, because they're not the same. It's oranges and apples. They're two different person. One is a homebody and one goes out. That can't work. I don't see that working long term. I see that.
I'm gonna be honest, by that homebody shit, ever since Allende kicked this damn door in, that motherfucker been scared since. And ever since he made that comment threatening preaches culture. And we already know Haitians all up and down Miami, so he just been running his mouth to the point.
Yeah, them Zoes don't play, man.
He's running his mouth to the point where he's scared shitless. And even on the No Jumper was on there too, and they called him out about it too.
Yo, I think they Haitian niggas in Miami. They don't really watch Fresh. They wouldn't even know what it is.
Right. So
he don't know that, but that's called paranoia.
Was that Fresh and Fit?
If I can make a point real quick, so you know how you know how there's like this argument where people say that most of their fan base is like incels?
Yes, they are.
I think it's actually the opposite. I think most of their fans is like extremely like aggressive, almost like disturbedly aggressive, and confused men that like they just don't know what to do. I don't think they.
No,
I think that's what incels are.
What do you say your name was again? Like, do you want us to call you freshman? I think it's comical. But if you're not comfortable with it, it's cool.
Nah, call it's just funny. Call me. It's just funny. It's fun.
All right, freshman fit number one stand. All right, listen. So I don't agree that a lot of them are. I do agree that they're aggressive, a lot of these guys, but I do genuinely believe that a lot of them are incels. Because if you think about it, look at we have a rising rate right now, especially even now more so ever with more single parents and single moms and women having kids later on, right? Kids are coming out with autism, right? They're coming out with different varying degrees, but that's becoming a disability that I wouldn't say disability, but like an element that a lot of people have to deal with. That social element, not being able to talk to people or get the social understanding of what's happening. We're seeing more and more of that, and a lot more. If you don't have that spectrum, a lot of guys who are grown up, and by guys I mean kids who are grown up, not having that confidence or being ability to even talk to people. Look at kids growing up in school right now; they're all maxed up, can't even talk to each other the way they need to. So we're gonna have more and more people who are gonna come down to this world, introverted, not sociopaths. I'm sorry, I was still thinking about Andrew Tate.
That's what I was more.
You know what I'm saying? So with more and more. Right, so more and more people well, here's the thing: if you're impressionable, you'll buy into that sociopathic nonsense. That is what it is. But more and more people who are coming out, who are on the spectrum, who are coming out introverted, who are not really having that extroverted interaction or interpersonal interaction, or even being taught that stuff to each other. Right? They're gonna come out to this world when they interact with each other at large. It's gonna be awkward. They're gonna be awkward. Listen, when I saw the tail end of when I was selling cars, man, I was sitting in front of people who were younger, in their 20s, like it was like what? 21 to like 24, 25 years old, right? These guys come in to buy cars. They're the most awkward people in the freaking world. Nothing wrong with them, right? They can talk to their peers or whatever it is, right? If it's their brother or their best friend or whatever it is. When it comes to like just having a normal conversation with a stranger you just met, they don't know how to do it. They're looking at you with like big fucking dinner plate eyes, and like the conversations are weird because they don't even know how to like go back and forth with you, right? And it makes you like you're just sitting there wanting to claw your eyes out. He's like, look at this fucking kid, man. Like I'm trying to talk to you here. I don't know shit about you. So if that's the kind of mentality that I know it's out there, and these guys can't even talk to another man, like what makes you think of course they're gonna struggle talking to a woman? Yeah. You kidding me? They're gonna struggle with that. So before even trying, they're gonna need that confidence boost, right? And they come in fresh and fit, right? These guys who are macho and they look like they're rootin' tootin' tough, and they got the money bling, they got the watch. Look at those beautiful girls on their podcast. They're doing their thing. Look at how they're acting. And I know for a fact that the last girl I dealt with, she left me for a guy who I consider a jerk, and these guys are acting like jerks, and they're getting all these girls, and look what they're saying. Look what oh shit, yeah, they're saying the shit that oh yeah, you're fucking right, man. Yeah, fuck these girls. And then you go deal with the girl in the real life, and then guess what?
See, now that's not an incel, bro. An incel is someone that's like emotionally like almost someone that like the average like picture of an incel is someone that stays inside, doesn't go out, can't talk to anyone. What you just did right there is someone that's like almost like has a fire.
No. You are turning yourself into an involuntary celibate. And incel means involuntary celibate, meaning that you can't get boxed because like you can't help it but not get boxed. That means there are elements that are greater than yourself that are around you right now that is preventing box from dealing with you. And for a lot of guys, they're female incels too, right? And for a lot of them, that element is actually putting themselves out there and talking to more guys, or putting themselves in the vicinity of more guys. So they're so scared of rejection, so scared of everything else, they become shut-in and they become female incels. It's the exact same thing. Incels isn't for the weird grungy dude who just sits in a corner and doesn't talk to anyone, or the potential school deleter or whatever it is. No, incel could be someone who involuntarily, meaning I didn't willingly put myself there, but involuntarily put myself there. And people who pertain with this ideology, you don't think women can sense that? Of course they will. If they sense that you're a douchebag, of course they're not going to stick around, especially if they want to. They're not. Guys what they do is, if you digest this kind of ideology, what ends up happening when you go out into the real world to deal with women, that ideology sticks with you, and women can subconsciously pick up on that. They will pick up on that. And they will say, and they won't say, this guy's an incel, but they're like, okay, this guy might be a little too touchy, and I feel like I may be walking around eggshells when I'm around him. Let me stop. Let me just chill for a second.
Stan, let me ask you something, Stan. what kind of woman that you actually deal with, and do you believe that Fresh and Fit helping you dealing with the type of woman that you want to deal with?
Honestly, bro, like me, I'm more focused on money right now, my education. So when it comes to women, I wouldn't date anybody. I would just I just mess around with some girls here and there, like a rotation. That's about it. So I don't take advice from like them because I've always been like just all right, a normal guy with women. So it's not like that's not. If that's what you were asking.
Well, no. Yeah, well, okay. Do you harbor resentment for the opposite sex?
That's a hard question. That's a loaded question, bro.
If that's a loaded question, we might have a problem, bro.
No, because bro, no. Let me explain.
If that's a loaded question, we might have a problem.
Because bro, like you gotta admit, bro, modern, especially my age group, 20-year-old, 22-year-old, 23. Like, bro, don't fuck up in the head, bro. You gotta admit that, right?
Dude, I'm banging 18-year-old chicks.
No, but you gotta.
I know I know most of them are on demon time. I know that.
So it's like, bro, like you gotta admit, like there is the way some of them act, like is not right. But I don't have resentment towards women. They're women, you know. They're just another animal.
Right, but then they're listen. You acknowledge that they're on demon time, and you acknowledge most of them are doing stuff. But the fact of the matter is, you shouldn't care. None of that should be you shouldn't care. We're too worried about women's mentality and mental state right now. It shouldn't matter to you. None of that should matter. Her body count, none of that matter. You should be out here doing your thing. If anything else, you should be doing your thing so damn hard that the chick you're talking to is literally begging you for a relationship. If you guys are worried about what's going on in her head, that's the problem.
Well,
she's up here and you're not.
You're coming from a place of leverage, bro. When you're a young man, we don't have leverage, bro.
Yeah, but you got leverage.
Listen.
You just said two things you're doing right now.
Exactly. Let me just add this real quick. When I was dating the same kind of same chicks in my age group since I was in high school. That shit ain't changed, right? That is none of that has changed. When I was driving my Mazda with the ceilings and little stuff on the ceilings falling out, right? Sometimes even land on her shoulders. I'm like, hey baby, let me get that off for you, right? I still got broads, right? I still did it. It was because of the personality, because of the confidence, because I wasn't afraid to be like, oh shit, I'm nervous. Is she gonna be worried about my car? It's like, your ceiling falling down. Look at your shoes. I don't give a fuck. That's just how I am. I throw it back. I'm just back and forth. I don't take myself seriously. So that helped me when I was younger, and it helps me now. The fucked up mentality a lot of young guys get into is believing that they have to be in a point of privilege to be able to start getting that same kind of attraction. No. You don't. And that's the ideology I want to refute against, because you don't have to be at a point of privilege. They're low down. The biggest complaint about guys in the manosphere right now is because their bras are leaving them for bumps. So how the hell, if you're supposed to if you're supposed to be in a place of privilege, why is it that your girl's leaving you for a dude that you consider ain't shit? That's what I'm saying. That's the biggest problem. I'm not saying you. So you never wait. What you say? You never heard of guys complaining that she left me.
I never heard of a bad guy. I never heard of like a good guy getting left for a guy that's lesser. I've never. That sounds reverse to me.
Where you live at?
Nigga, I live in Phoenix, Arizona. Why does that matter?
Well, nigga, you need to get out and explore the world a little bit.
You have to, dude. You have to.
Me?
This is what happens. Yeah. Women like bad boys. You know that, right?
Wait. So now you're saying women like bad boys? I thought you don't like Fresh and Fit because they're like too bad.
Fresh and Fit aren't even bad, bro. They can't even be on the spectrum.
I didn't even say that.
But here's the thing: being toxic and being a bad boy.
The difference.
No. Here's the thing. Because you're what you're trying to do is you're conflating two things, and then you're trying to make it one thing. Okay, being toxic, being a bad boy, they're the exact same trait. You can't mix them up. All right. What I talk about is the ideology. I don't give a fuck if you're a jerk or an asshole. I call myself ain't shit nigga all the time because I know I'm a dick. You see me in real talk to niggas who know me in the real world. They're like, oh yeah, Duke. I love him, but he's an asshole. They'll tell you, right? But when I deal with women, I don't yell at women like the way Myron does. All right, I don't treat like I'm real smooth and I'm respectful. That's how I am. Right? You know what I'm saying? I don't do that.
Duke, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Duke, the difference is like, you are assertive. You're not. You're not trying to pretend to be an asshole. And that's why a lot of these guys fail, because like they don't really know how to be an asshole, so they have to go to the extreme end of it to try to assert their dominance. So they kind of come out as like a little bitch barking.
Yeah.
But when you solid on your foundation, when you stand on your square, you don't have to actually like act like a Jack Murphy or do all of that. You just your no is your no, your yes is your yes, and nobody can move you from that. And that's the difference between being an asshole and being assertive, being dominant.
That's why I understand why I felt like he was a little bit. Yeah, but I felt like you was a little bit lost because you said your leverage. If you just said your main key thing you just said, Stan, was, and that's your leverage right there. You said, and I quote you, I'm not thinking about these women, I'm thinking about my money, I'm going to school, and I'm doing me. That's your leverage right there. So if your mind is focused on that and these women start coming up to you, you're good. You shouldn't have to be worried about them. You just said to yourself, I know how women are. So if you know how they are, you should be sleeping good at night.
I don't really know how that equates, bro. I don't really know why that's relevant. You know what I'm saying? I'm responding back to what you just said, sir. I'm responding back to what you just said.
Dan, do you see leverage as money though? Do you see, like, when you say leverage, do you see it as money?
Well, what I mean leverage is like a universally attractive like thing to all women. That's what I mean by leverage. And you don't usually start acquiring those things until you have capital. And most young men don't have capital.
That's a wrong.
I disagree. I'm gonna say I disagree because I'm 6'3", and I sound mature and I act mature for my age, and I can pull girls that are in their 20s.
Bro, what do you mean? You do know the average man in the United States is 5'6", right? So why is that relevant, bro?
Hey, I'm 5'8". Let me tell you this. Let me tell you this. Pressure fit number one stand. I'm 5'8". All right. You know what my game is when I go out there, right? If you know what my game is, I hang out with tall friends. So I would go if I'm hitting the club, I'm going with Rex. If you said 6'5".
Smart man, dude.
I'm taking him to the club. You know why? Because he's gonna act as my antenna. Because I already know I got a body and I look good. So that's just it. I'm just not gonna get that attention. So he's gonna act as my acting beacon, right? Or what you call a homing beacon. The girls come in. Oh, look at this tall. You can go over here. What's good? Like, oh, who's this? I'm like, what's good, mama? What's up? Who you friends with? Come here. Let's that's how I am. I strategize.
That's not gonna always
I strategize the brothers around me.
Dukendon, hey, can you admit that like game has its limits, right?
No.
Game is manipulation.
It's because nigga on planet Earth and get the baddest bitch, bro. Come on, dog. Don't cap on
Yes.
Don't do that, bro.
What did I just explain? What did I just say? Okay, you just said
game is
has
manipulation.
No limit. Hang on. It's okay. Yes, you have a point.
We gotta go out to the club because if you that nigga, bro, that's crazy.
Here's the thing, right? Because women, the looks get you into the door, right? And when we want to put things on a tier, height's gonna win out all the time.
Exactly.
Height's gonna win out.
Nice.
It don't matter, right? So what I just said, here's how I'm playing the game. I'm playing the game by using his height to my advantage. If I know for a fact that he's in my group, like listen, it ain't nothing. If I go to club, I can go to club by myself and still go pull chicks because I can use the word of mouth. I can use the gift of gab. That's just what I got. So the game has no limits there. If he's there, he just makes it even easier because then girls are attracted. I've been to clubs, bro. Girls are attracted to tall dudes. It don't matter what they look. They love tall niggas. Yeah. Especially if you're not 6'5". That's a tier right there. So looks play a part. But when they come in and they're chatting with him and I'm chatting with some of them and then we're talking, now it's a function. Now everything's opened up. Now the girls are comfortable. Now we walking around. Let's go ahead and let's grab some drinks over here. Let's do it. Now it's a function. Right now, I know for a fact I'm getting some because I'm talking game to the sister over here that I want to talk to. He's doing this thing with his girl over there.
Hold up.
You see what I'm saying?
But dude, that doesn't always work though, bro.
Right? Let's say you get to that point, right? And then you about to take her home and your car's beat down. Or
oh my God!
Go to a couple different cars. And you
okay, no. He wants to.
Oh my God!
Hold on. You know how
the average dude, bro?
No. Go ahead. Go ahead.
We're not.
Go ahead. Let me answer this. Can you please? I know what you said, but like everyone was kind of talking. Restate that, and I'm gonna show you how you handle it. Go ahead.
So let's say you do good on the game, right? You're in the door. She doesn't care about your height and all that. And then she starts going to different places. Now you gotta start spending some money to hang out with her for the night. And then you get to the car. Now she not fucking with it. You know what I'm saying? She try to take it back to the crib. Maybe
why
you
would
ain't
I?
got a crib yet.
Here's the thing.
Maybe you don't even got your own crib yet because we're talking about young men, right? There's limits, bro. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Right. Time out. I banged chicks in my mom's basement when I lived in my mom's. It wasn't even my mom's basement. I had
Why you saying that, bro?
Listen. It wasn't even my mom's basement. I had my own room, but I still brought broads into my mom's house, especially when she was at work. Okay. So secondly, if I go to a club and I know I got a beat up car, I'm riding Uber, nigga. Like, what you talking about? I'm taking the Uber down there, and guess what? We Ubering back. And typically, like, even down here, when I do tend to go out, I'm usually going because I know I live a little bit ways from downtown, and most of the girls are like they're college and whatnot, so they pretty much hang around there, and they don't want to leave the area. So I chill at their place. They don't fuck if they got roommates or not. The roommates don't care. They already know what's happening. So I'm going to their crib. Right there. I don't bring my car. What are you talking about? That's how you solve it.
Let me say something to this guy, man. Like, this guy
everything you saying, bro.
Hold on, Poppy. Let him
speak. Let him speak,
bro. Everything you just said, bro. Like, that might work for you, bro. But the average dude, bro, is not even going to get to that.
Nigga, I'm average.
I am the average dude. What are you talking about?
Like, I literally come on stream and tell niggas I ain't shit because I know I'm average.
Nigga, you're not average, bro. You clearly got charisma, confidence. The average nigga don't got that.
How you think he got that, Stan? How you think he got that?
Let me go. Yo, dude.
Damn, these niggas yelling at me.
No. This is all passion, bro. You like, bro. You for real around men, bro. This is all passion. This is how it is. No one's angry. No one's hating.
Stan, check this out, right? I think your first problem is that you've seen yourself as average, and then the second problem is that you keep putting obstacles in yourself. By keep telling yourself that you can't do certain things that other men can do, then you are self-defeating.
Wait, let's set something straight. This has nothing to do with me, bro. No. Bro, I'm straight. I'm talking about the average man.
I'm gonna call Cap, but go ahead.
I'm talking about the average dude. You don't know me, bro. Like, so chill out.
Okay, all right, fine. So
hold on. Arbanaka, hold your thought real quick. Let me just spit some game at Fresh and Fit. Hey, Fresh and Fit #1 Stan. Literally, if you don't want to come off looking or sounding offended, like you can't be offended like about little things they say. I don't think he's trying to, like, a Great Pill, like he's a cool dude, bro. Like, just real talk. I don't think he's trying to be offensive. So you don't need to get defensive, bro.
No, bro.
Right?
So, my fault.
Go ahead.
My fault. So my
point don't like literally no one. Everybody here is friendly. Don't need to get defensive because like that makes you look weak. Don't do that.